Many of us have walked into a school and felt that the space had a welcoming or inspiring energy. Maybe the school was bright and colorful, the staff warm and friendly, and the materials neatly organized. Or maybe there were examples of student work on the walls and hallways, murals and art all created by students themselves. Many of us have also walked into schools that felt unwelcoming or even scary. Messy, dimly lit, and starkly decorated spaces with cranky staff and students doesn't make for a great learning environment for most. Knowing that Native students and their families have a complicated and often negative relationship with the American school system, it's important that school design and culture is thoughtful and intentional. In fact, having a positive and responsive school design and culture is important for the success of all students. Over these next few videos, suggestions for improving school culture to be more welcoming to Native students and families will be explored. Not all suggestions will be possible in every school setting, however, all are rooted in research-based best practices. Our first suggestion is to create opportunities for Native students to strengthen their Native identity. Studies show that students with a strong sense of cultural identity are healthier and more successful. So how can you do this? Suggestion 1. Learn about and support Title VI Indian education programs in your district and connect students with these services. Title VI grants provide resources for Indian education programs across the state of California. These programs aim to help connect Native students with their cultures and create a bridge between Native families and public schools. Many Indian education programs organize cultural events, offer tutoring services, and some connect Native families with essential services like food pantries. As a teacher, it's important to have a relationship with program staff because, like you, staff members in Indian education programs really care about the lives and futures of their students. Connect Native students with these programs and attend cultural events hosted by these programs when possible. There's a notable drawback to these programs. Because of the federal government's decision to leave a majority of tribes without federal recognition, some Native students are not eligible to receive services through Title VI. In fact, only students with a documented roll number from a federally recognized tribe are eligible. This is all the more reason for people to advocate for the federal recognition of non-federally recognized tribes. Before moving on, let's reflect on the following. First, does your district have an Indian education program? Second, does your district, city, or county have any similar Native education programs other than those funded through Title VI? Third, have you been able to build a relationship with the Indian education staff? And if not, how might you go about building a relationship? And finally, what do you think the possible benefits could be in building this relationship? Suggestion 2. Create Native student unions, clubs, or centers that celebrate Indigenous cultural contributions, ways of knowing, and more. Additionally, it's helpful to celebrate Indigenous and Native culture on a school-wide level. Common ways of doing this include celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day, creating a Native plant garden, inviting Native cultural representatives and school alumni to join school-wide celebrations and share their experiences, creating murals or public art with the help of Native cultural representatives from the community. To recap, helping Native students strengthen their Native identities is one way to improve school culture that may also improve health and education outcomes for Native and Indigenous youth. Ways to do this are connecting the school and students to Title VI Indian education programs, creating Native or Indigenous cultural spaces where Native and non-Native students can embrace and learn about Native culture, and celebrate Native culture publicly on a school-wide level. Reflection. Which of these ideas is most intriguing to you and why? Who on your staff do you think would be a strong advocate for the implementation of these ideas? And what challenges do you anticipate? And what ideas do you have to address these challenges?